encourage you to do these at least once a week. I mean, you got to know where people are standing. People need to be able to share their roadblocks and get the support that they need as soon as possible. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the LeadHer Lounge. We talked a little bit about how to have really impactful one-on-ones a couple weeks ago, but today is going to really focus on how to have a very purposeful meeting with your team, something that's not just routine, something that's going to add a lot of value. So we're going to break it into different sections, and we're framing this in a 30-minute meeting, which we feel like you could do with your teams each week, but obviously, you can tailor it to the needs of what you have as well. But the first part should be having a really positive start to the meeting.
Yes, and when we talk about positive start, it can be as easy as let's go around and share some wins. Let's be grateful for something. It can be in our personal life, so everybody shares something and you learn about each other, or something that happened at work. We have great icebreaker questions. Something that we used to do was we have in a jar different questions. We pass along the jar. Everybody picked one, and you have to answer that question. And it's good because it's different, so no, it's like the same one, which you could do. And it's as simple as, what is your first memory as a child? Like a happy memory that you had.
That one.
And there's just those things just bring positive
dopamine, serotonin, like all the
just
happy chemicals.
Thoughts, and you're with this like growth mindset from the beginning of the meeting, just because it is great to like remember something, or even the happy song. Maybe you have a playlist of the happy song everybody shared with you, and at the beginning of the meeting you have the music while everybody's sitting down or just connecting into the Zoom meeting as well. Just like think about how to boost those happy brain chemicals, which we covered before. And just do that from the beginning.
Yeah,
it's
quick 5-minute activity.
5 minutes.
Boost those brain chemicals. We got an entire episode on how to boost your happy brain chemicals, so you can always refer back to that one too.
Yeah, so I think that one, just 5 minutes. Again, make it where this is how the meeting is gonna be set from the beginning. So make sure that is something positive, of course.
Yeah.
The next one is review and follow up. So I imagine you have been providing a lot of action items in every meeting, and that is good, but you need to make sure that you're reviewing. So remember, trust to verify. Make sure that you're checking what they did, if they can share, and just follow up with some things that you also promised you were going to follow up.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that newer or any leader makes is that you like assign something to someone, you're delegating, you're trusting someone to do something, and then you just never follow up with them. So this gives you an opportunity to follow up with everybody and figure out where everyone's at. I think we're going to go into roadblocks in a little bit, but that way you're already making that commitment. You're already kind of forcing yourself to do the follow-ups, so you don't have to remember to do it with each individual. You can do it in a group setting.
Yes, and that will help for like communication as well. Because the next one, so you spend 5 minutes on that review and follow-up, hopefully, and you go to the priorities and the roadblock. So when you are following up, you're reviewing what they did, some roadblocks are going to be presented. So it's good for you to be aware of those roadblocks, to know, okay, I know they need this. I know they need something from me. I know they need something from another department or a signature, whatever it is, but they're communicating that amongst the team. And sometimes you don't have the answers, because remember, the leaders not always have to have the answers. You don't have the answer, but somebody in the team will.
Yeah. We talked about like the influencers too. And you probably have someone who's like a connector on your team who we were talking about this when we were talking about this episode. I'm not great with Excel. I like Excel, but that was always something when we would be in group meetings that I would say, okay, this is on my plate today. My roadblock, let's say, is like, how do I do a mail merge? Which if you're savvy with Excel, you know how to do that. But we had 2 like Excel experts on our team that were always willing to help, and it made my job easier. It took them 5 minutes to show me how to do something, and they were happy to help. too. Like
People
they were like,
love showing off.
they do. They're like,
They
oh,
do.
you need help with a mail merge? Here you go.
Now with AI, people is like
Yeah.
we have people that are more expert with AI. So if you have questions, this is the time for you to like bring all those roadblocks in on the table from your team members,
Yeah.
so everybody can collaborate and help each other out. And also realizing that I'm not the only one as a team member, and I'm not the only one with that roadblock, with an issue. Like there is a room full of people with roadblocks, and it is, I mean, as a leader it can be overwhelming, but it's also beautiful to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that vulnerability. For this, we allow 10 minutes because usually we have more roadblocks than anything else. Then open participation, 5 minutes of open participation, maybe ideas, brainstorms, like any suggestions that the team members might have.
Yeah, this is a good space.
Are you dreaming about finding a community that accepts you for expressing yourself, trying out new styles, and leaning into the festival community? Well, the Revamped Clothing Spot Festival is looking for you. We're looking for volunteers, brand ambassadors, and community leaders that want to hop in to our festival that we host every quarter to share their stories, their experience, and service with us. Check us out on therevamp.org.
This is going to give a lot of opportunity for everybody to share now on the team. So everyone probably shared their roadblocks and everything as well, but this gives people a space to share ideas who maybe weren't able to share ideas or who typically don't. We like to say, like, seek out the silent, give a voice to people who don't necessarily have a voice or think they have a voice, which if you're a good leader, everyone should feel like they're able to speak up on your team, but not everyone is that bold. But we also have a really cool suggestion that we think would be helpful too, which is if you've got a meeting agenda, you have topics or ideas that you need brainstorming ideas on or something a creative solution, send that agenda early so that people can actually think on their answers and you're not just putting people on the spot, because those people who are quieter, they're probably quiet because they need more time to think on things. They're not really as sharp in the moment and quick to come up with a solution. So something like sending an agenda a day early, maybe 2 days early, whatever it looks like for your team, whatever the problem at hand that needs to be solved is, can give them maybe an upper hand so that they're coming ready to share. And then you give them that space to share during that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. 2 things with the seek out the silent. Yes, like make sure that everybody has a voice. As a leader, you are the facilitator of that meeting. So make sure if somebody's quiet, if that person is just like very quiet, don't force that person to speak out, because some people don't like to speak in public. I remember when I first joined a company here in the US and I wasn't that comfortable with my English. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk and didn't want to give my opinion. And I think it was good that my leader kind of understood that and didn't force me to do it. Like, give me your opinion, tell me. But little by little, she pulled me aside and started talking with me, and I felt more comfortable to speak out. So be careful with like pushing that person too hard, but make sure that you are aware that everybody is participating and that you're aware who is maybe that quiet person. With the agenda is such a great idea. If you have the topics, sometimes it can be like, we know the roadblocks, share what are you working on? Those things are vague, but also they're going to have a sense of like, okay, that's what we're going to cover. And it can be always the same. Of course, the positive start is going to change a little bit, hopefully. But otherwise it's going to be very like routine, like kind of like a routine in a good way. So they know what to expect, because we don't like, as humans, we don't like uncertainty. So no big surprises.
No.
And the last one is close and commit.
We have to recap the meeting before you leave the meeting so that people actually know what their action items are. We've summarized what we've talked about, make sure that we didn't miss any key points.
Who is responsible for
the delegation, the ownership piece, who is responsible for what, maybe deadlines, recapping, things like that. All the important things, like just, okay, do the quick recap. And then I think send a follow-up email too. And if for some reason, going back to like the seeking out the silent, if there was someone who wasn't able to participate, maybe that follow-up email, you give them a space to reply with ideas as well. Maybe they're just not comfortable speaking, but they've got ideas that they still want to share. But yeah, you want to close it up, wrap it up, put a bow on it, and then make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. Because
Yes.
you don't want to walk out of a meeting being like, "What was the point of that?" You want to walk out of a meeting feeling very productive and like, "I've got my to-do list, I've got my action items in place."
Yes, hopefully you have someone taking notes for you and sending that recap email. Of course, sign off that email, but make sure that somebody else is the one taking notes, so you are not like writing notes
Yeah.
or taking notes and not paying. It's not that you're not paying attention, but at the same time, looking at somebody's faces when they're talking is very important. So hopefully you have that person, and that will help too for your time as well,
Yeah.
because sending a recap email about all of this can be a lot, but some people just love to do it. We always have somebody taking notes, and they like that. And it's usually the person that is more silent,
Yeah.
the more quiet.
They're
in
soaking
their
it
home.
all in.
Yes.
And then the notes and the recaps are always like, "Oh my God, that's actually very productive. It's
Yes.
organized. It looks
Yes.
great." Yeah.
And finally, just say thank you to your team members for their
Yes.
time, for their participation, for being just present. It's like, again, it's 30 minutes, but you can do so much in 30 minutes. If you really planned, if you are intentional with your words, with each step, if you are intentional and you really care about that meeting, it's gonna be so successful and so productive, because everybody is gonna be on the same page. Because I know Juanito needs to do this. I know Taylor's roadblock is this. I know Patrick needs help with this. Like I'm aware of everything, even though it's not my role. I'm aware of what is going on.
Yeah, you can hold each other accountable.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love it. So those are some best practices on how to have a very productive and energizing 30-minute meeting with your team. We encourage you to do these at least once a week. I mean, you got to know where people are standing. People need to be able to share their roadblocks and get the support that they need as soon as possible. If you've got any other best practices or maybe some activities that you use with your team to energize them during meetings, please let us know in the comments below. If you found this helpful and you think that someone in your community or your network could really benefit, or your leader could benefit from this, please send them this video, share it with them. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to get more content.
Yes, thank you again to our friends at Velocity and Sterling Heights for this beautiful studio. And we'll see you next week, leaders.
Bye.